Dan Illman, Mike Beer, taking a look at race number 8 at Keeneland on Sunday. It's the Grade 3 Dixiana Bourbon Stakes. It's a prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. And if you have a DRF Bets account, you got a good deal for you. It's the Weekend Warrior Bonus Series. You bet $25 to win on race number 1 at Keeneland on Saturday and or Sunday during the meet. You earn up to a $70 bonus to be utilized on Breeders' Cup weekend. All the information's at drf.com/warrior. Here's the field for the Dixiana Bourbon. 2-year-olds going a mile and a 16th on the turf for $250,000. It is a big and bulky field, and the number 1 War of Will is 5-2 despite being a maiden. This horse just has a superb pedigree and goes out for Mark Casse, who's won this race the last 3 years.
Yeah, he is a maiden on the way in, which is, you don't love that for a horse who's going to be a short price, but it just feels like based on his first 2 starts, I don't know, he kind of deserves to be the favorite in here. I mean, he ran really well first time out, and it felt to me, I don't know if you agree with this, but it felt to me like first time out, he ran fine in there, even though taking money, but I think he really needed that race. He got to the lead when they came from, it's not like his rider was all over him in the stretch to try and hold on there. He got beat. He ran a lot better in the summer last time, only run down late by a very good horse in Fog of War. I think this horse is tough as nails in here.
Draws a great inside post position, has wonderful tactical speed. And while there is speed in this race, I think Drayden Van Dyke's going to break, secure the rail, let the speeds go, and just work out a nice pace-tracking, ground-saving trip in many, many ways, if not all the ways. He is the horse to beat. The number 4 Concrete Rose has got him on a buyer, though, right now. He's got the 82 buyer. She has an 82 buyer in her career debut at Saratoga, going 5.5 furlongs. Listen, I know there was a fast pace. They went sub 22 for the first quarter that day, but Concrete Rose was ridden with a lot of confidence by Jose Lezcano, and once she got into the clear, she ran down a horse that was loose and looked home.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looked like she had no idea what she was doing in that race either. I mean, you could tell that she was going to get there at the end, but it was only late that she really leveled off, and I was impressed with the run that she put in. I kind of wish she had another race between then and now. I feel like she's the kind of horse who could really use it, and now she's got to stretch out from 5.5 in a really tough race, but there are things to like about her. She's good.
Taking on the boys, first-time winners, stretching out 3 furlongs. I think the distance will be okay. She's from the family of graded stakes winning turf router Lover's Knot. We're both fans of the number 3 Henley's Joy. If you want to go back to some trouble, watch the tape of the debut at Ellis Park, where this horse was forced extremely wide going into the first turn, ended up in and among horses, then had to go wide again in the stretch, and it was just like breaking sticks. And last time out in the Kentucky Downs Juvenile, he got the trip he deserved.
Yeah, it did work out a lot better for him last time. I still think he might have taken a step forward, though, in a second start. He got it done in there. He worked harder for it. He got in a little bit tight, I thought, in the stretch. He was trying to come through inside Dragic, the filly who was on the lead. She put him in a little tight, but he got through it. It almost looked like Tracksmith got momentum on him and got by him in the stretch, but he fought back and he got it done. This horse is pretty good.
He's got a nice turf pedigree as well by Kitten's Joy from the family of Golden Pheasant and Sea Willow, and it was nice to see he could be a little bit closer to the pace last time out. He'll probably be farther back. The pace should be hot. Speaking of the pace, let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. You'll note the red bar indicating that Timeform US expects a fast pace. And the number 13 Mix Star, trying turf for the first time, is expected to set the pace. Now, he is bred for turf. He's by point of entry. Great turf horse, 16% with first-time turf runners. Dam was a stakes-place dirt sprinter. She has folded turf winner. Listen, this horse has done nothing wrong on dirt. Big ask, though, tough post, stretching out, other speeds.
Yeah, a lot of stuff working against this horse. He was impressive winning both of his starts, but they're asking a lot of him in this race.
I don't think, though, that the 1 War of Will is going to be up there pressing. I find it hard to believe that the 4 Concrete Rose is going to be pressing as well. So there is an outside chance that Mixed Star might actually be able to clear off and make the lead in here, and this horse has shown some ability on the dirt. Cassie's got the favorite, the 1 War of Will, but he also has the 6 Blockbuster, and this horse cost a lot of money earlier this year, $450,000. I look at this pedigree and I'm thinking dirt, but what do I know? He's by Medaglia d'Oro. The second dam is Silver Bullet Day. Cassie puts him on turf first time out. He makes a big move to win.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, he got just outrun right from the gate in there. He was way far back, but you could tell once he finally got into the picture on the turn, You could tell that, Leparoux was just very patient with him. He didn't ask him to go too soon. Once they got into the stretch, this horse came with a big run to close that field down. They figured didn't come back very much. He ran well in that race.
I wonder if Jose Ortiz is going to be a little aggressive on the 10 Current, because he showed he could stay close to, albeit a moderate to slow pace last time out at Belmont, but he really kicked on nicely to win that day, and he's got some pedigree. He's a half to Weep No More, who upset the Ashland a couple of years ago, and he's by Curland. I like that he was able to get those 270 buyers. I think a forward move is coming for Todd.
I agree with that. His dam also is a sister to Flimby. It was a really good turf horse for Juddmonte Farms. He ran well first time out sprinting. He had trouble in the stretch of that race. The horse came out and bothered him, but he ran really well. I liked his win last time, Dan. You're right that the pace wasn't that fast, but he had to go early to go challenge for that for the lead in there, because the Thread of Blue made an early move to his outside, and it forced him to go probably sooner than he wanted. He finished that race off pretty impressively. I think this horse has some talent. I'm using this horse.
Ken McPeak added Lasix to Salvatore Mundi last time out, and lo and behold, the horse won. Those horses still pay $20 when McPeak adds Lasix. This horse actually has a nice little pedigree. He's by Breeders' Cup Mile winner Artie Schiller. The dams I have to My Conquistador, who was a good turf synth 2-year-old.
Right.
This horse ran at Kentucky Downs. I thought had a decent enough trip to win that race. Obviously has to improve from a buyer standpoint.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, he worked pretty hard to get it done at Kentucky Downs, but he did get it done. I liked that he stayed closer in that race. He had a real trip first time out at Ellis Park. He couldn't get clear, and the race got away from him in there. I liked him in the second start at Saratoga on Travers Day. And at the end of the day, he just didn't run well in that race. He had a little early trouble, but he wasn't good in that spot. He turned it around a little bit last time. I think he's got to do better than that.
In from Southern California is the 5 for Love of Country, who's a half to a multiple stakes winning turf runner named Rapid Rhythm. Couldn't really find the excuse in the Del Mar Juvenile Turf. I realized that it wasn't a great break. I realized he came wide into the stretch, but I also thought there was a big pace on. I needed him to pass Hartle.
I kind of feel the same way. I mean, I think he ran fine in that race. And you could even go back to his win in his first start. He ran well in that race, but that was another race where it really worked out for him. I mean, he lost position early in the race, but he was able to get to the rail, and it just kept opening up for him all through the second turn, all through the stretch. He kept finding room to run, and I think he took advantage a little bit. I think he's going to have to improve to beat this field.
Luis Saez is going to hope that time form U.S. pace projector is correct, and there is a big pace. This horse comes from off the pace, but he does have a nice turf pedigree. The 2 Ice City Ghosts improved by leaps and bounds, moving from dirt to turf and sprint to route, but could not have had an easier trip in that Sunday Silent Stakes. They pretty much just let him go.
Yeah.
They disrespected him. He went 49 to the half, and he made that field pay.
Yeah, he just got absolutely loose in that race. And then, while he was able to hold on through the stretch, they never really threatened him. There wasn't a ton of running going on behind him.
More Than AP, the number 12, goes out for a really underrated trainer in Chris Block, who does extremely well with these turf horses. This horse got a fast pace to win at last time at Arlington. I don't think he beat a very strong field, but he's got a nice pedigree. I'd like to actually see him try dirt one day.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does, because so far, he's got the 53, 57. There's no real improvement for him on the figures, but I do think he's running better each time. He doesn't have a lot of speed, so he wants that pace projector to be right, because he's going to be trying to close down this field late. He's going to have to pass a lot of horses.
I think the 9 Shazier has an outside chance in this race. I really think he improved with the surface switch and stretching out to a mile. Maybe it wasn't the strongest field in the world, but this horse has a solid pedigree and he has tactical speed.
Yeah, I didn't love the field that he beat last time, but I do like the way that he won that race. Sort of under a hard hold. He looked like he was still a little green. I like the way that he got it done in there, though. I think he's an interesting horse at a price.
Before we get to the picks, we'll talk about the 250 to 1 shots in the body of the race. Mr. Wrenchett is a stakes winner on dirt. Has only raced once on turf in the career debut, but best buyer thus far, a 45. Won a stake by 7 with a 45 buyer.
He looks like he's in pretty tough here.
Pradar on the far outside, well beaten by a runaway winner last time out. Lone win came in an off the turf race at Indiana Downs. Best buyer 41, outside post.
Yeah, so far what he's done on the track gives him basically no chance in here. He's got a terrible post.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 3 Bourbon Stakes. War of Will ran so well in the Grade 1 summer, just seems to class up well and should get a good trip. The horse to beat, a horse I think you must use in any kind of multiple race wagers. Let's talk a little bit about my top pick, Track Smith, who just couldn't get by Henley's Joy last time out, but I do wonder if maybe ground loss was the key there. Yes, Henley's Joy was kind of stacked up for a little bit down towards the inside, but Track Smith was 5-6 path entering the straight and had to make a long run and just missed. I thought it was a good effort considering that The other horse, Henley's Joy, already had a mile race.
Yeah.
This horse was stretching out from 5.5 to a mile. I like the fact that he can come with a late run. He's by Street Sense, the third dam, one of our favorites, Extra Heat.
Oh, really? Yeah, there's not that much between him and Henley's Joy, I don't think, and it does feel like he'll be the better
price.
He'll be the better price again. I have no argument with this horse as they step into a tougher race with him, but he deserves the chance. He ran well last time.
He goes out for trainer Joe Sharp. You're going War of Will. How do you play multis in here? You like 1, 10, 3, and 4.
Yeah, I don't think I would be, leaning all over War of Will, but I do think he's a good horse. He looks to me, he looks like a good horse. I think he's in the right spot here. I think he's a legit favorite, even though he's a maiden. I will use others in the race, but I like this horse.
I'll take a shot with Tracksmith to win, at which he'd be a playable price, but I have to use all 4 of my picks in multis. 11, 4, 1, and 3 in the Grade 3 Bourbon Stakes. A really nice prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf carded is race number 8 at Keeneland on Sunday. A reminder for all you DRF Bets members, the Weekend Warrior Bonus Series is in effect. Bet $25 to win on race number 1 at Keeneland on Saturday and or Sunday. And win or lose, you can earn up to a $70 bonus throughout the Keeneland meet that you could play Breeders' Cup weekend. DRF.com/warrior is where you need to go. Approximate post time for the Dixiana Bourbon, 5:10 Eastern. Best of luck.